It's part 3 of my Hobby Lobby haul, and today I will show you how I assembled 2 festive Christmas wreaths. The smaller frame is 24 inches and I got it 50% off for $5, and the larger one is 30 inches and I got that one half off for $12.50. They have this fake greenery already on the metal frame, and the frame is basically an outer and inner ring as well as several spokes between them. Obviously, the first step with making any wreath is deciding on your design. My best advice for this is go to Hobby Lobby early in the season, lay a wreath down on the floor on the aisle that has the Christmas pics, and basically design your wreath in the store. If you wait too late in the season, there'll be too much traffic to do this, but if you go in late October like I did for these, you will have the whole aisle to yourself to design a wreath. So I designed my wreaths in the store and took pictures so I could remember how to assemble them when I got them home. So the first step is fluffing. This can go a long ways in the end look of the wreath. When you bring your wreaths home, the greenery is kind of lying down in a spiral, so what I like to do is I push it in the opposite direction to make it stand up, and then I grab branches from the now standing up sections and I pull them left and right, up and down, so I end up with branches facing every which way. As you can see here, it not only makes the wreath look fluffier, it also makes it look larger. This wreath design has a defined top marked by a red bow, so I started by attaching that first. Now notice with these red bows, when you remove the packaging, the gold tie that holds it to the packaging also holds the bow together, so make sure you twist that gold tie securely at the back of your bow so that way the bow itself doesn't fall apart. To attach it to the wreath, I chose 1 or 2 branches from the wreath and securely fastened the gold twist tie around those branches. This allows me to adjust the bow to whatever position I want. Next, I took all my Christmas picks and arranged them in place. I also like to fluff my picks before arranging them, and the wire construction of the picks makes them really easy to shape. Just make sure to bend towards the base of a branch from a pick and it'll really help you shape it well. To make sure I can get my pieces firmly attached, I've also got some floral wire and a pair of pliers. So with the longer picks, I'm taking a piece of wire, putting a bend in it, and sliding the U-shaped wire around both the end of the pick and the metal of the wire frame. Then I go to the back side of the wreath and twist my 2 ends of wire together with my hands, but you may find that the pliers are easier to twist the wire together. I kept repeating this process in a few more places along the stem of the pick, and I especially twisted the wire around like the base of the pick so that way it wouldn't come loose. I also have some spots where the branches of the pick itself were kind of sticking off, and since this one's going on a front door, I didn't want the wreath to be poking people in the faces when they came inside, so I took some wire and also fastened some of those sections down. Again, I make a U shape, I go around the section of the pick I'm trying to fasten down, go around some of the wire metal frame of the wreath, and I twist it together on the back so it's holding it really securely. As you keep adding your pieces on, you can also fluff the greenery of the wreath to get it all positioned nicely. So that's what I'm doing with this first large pick here. With these smaller ones, I'm just going to put a bend in the base of it, and then I'll take that U shape and go around the metal of the wire frame, and then I will twist that on there, and I may decide that I also want a little bit of floral wire to really help fasten it in place. Don't forget to fluff these little ones. I forgot to fluff that one, but it's so much easier to fluff them before you attach them versus afterwards. I kind of work methodically when I do this, where I start with my big items like the bows and the bigger picks, get those in place, and then I just work around in a circle, fastening in all my little pieces that go between my bigger items. So again, when I'm doing this big one here, I'm making sure to use plenty of wire so I get it really securely fastened, because when you stand your wreath up, you don't want everything falling forward and drooping off of your wreath. So I like to stand it up, shake it a little bit to see what's loose, and then lay it back down to refasten it. And here it is hanging up on a front door. This next wreath is the larger one, and this one we had such a hard time designing in store because we knew what we were going for, but we kept ending up with like all our red things together or all our gold things together. So finally I started over, positioned them, and then we got this awesome design to work. So I've got these big poinsettias, and we're going with some other red accents, some sparkly gold accents, and we also have those kind of whitish silver balls that are really pretty. Just as before, we're going to start by fluffing our wreath, and again, this makes a huge difference. Also, as before, I will next place my picks in place so I can see exactly how it will look, because you don't want to start attaching things and then decide, oh, I actually should have repositioned this. So for example here, I decided I wanted to move that poinsettia a little further down so it wasn't quite so symmetrical. I also have these pine cones that I bleached. You can click the card up in the top right hand corner to see how I did that. So that also saved me a little bit of money with this wreath by being able to use stuff that I had DIY'd already. So I compared it to my picture, that looks about like how I had it in store, and I started by attaching the poinsettias. So again, I took a U-shaped piece of wire, and I'm going around the base of the poinsettia, even over some of those leaves, so that way I can make sure that wire is really firmly attached. If you just loop the floral wire around the stem, there's a chance that the stem could slide out of it, so I wanted to make it really secure. Then with these other picks, sometimes I am using wire just all the way around them. Sometimes I'm bending the base of the pick itself and turning the base of the pick into a U and then twisting the base of the pick. With the pine cones, I'm again making a U shape, and then I'm going to slide that U shape right directly into the pine cone. So it took me a minute to find both ends, but then once I have both ends around to the other side of the pine cone, I hold them with my pliers and I just twist and twist and twist my pine cone. This is actually, if you look at some of the pine cones they have in stores for wreath picks, that's exactly how the pine cones are attached. It works really well, really secure. Just make sure you give plenty of twist to it. So then I fastened the pine cone on, and with the pine cones I found I needed to have a lot of fluffy greenery behind it to hold them in place so they didn't droop. So you may decide that you actually want to do a couple pieces of wire on your pine cones. I opted for just one at the base so I could position it more easily. As before, I finished working around in a big spiral, attaching my items as I went. With those silver looking balls, I found that I needed to attach them at the bases of the stem so that way they didn't sag forward because I kept wanting to do that. So I finished tucking in my pine cones, fastened everything really securely with wire, and then I tested it by standing it up a little bit to make sure things were going to stay, and everything stayed pretty well, so this is my wreath. Unfortunately, I forgot to get a picture of this completed wreath, but here's some really blurry, terrible clips of it hanging up. It looks super majestic. Now, you might be wondering, how much did these wreaths cost, and is it really worth making your own wreath? And I argue that yes, it is. So for the 24-inch wreath, all in, it cost me $17.50, and for the 30-inch bigger wreath, all in, it cost me $30.50, and I saved some money by using pine cones that I just gathered from my yard. So if you look at the prices of comparable wreaths on Hobby Lobby's website, again, everything's 50% off their wreaths, my material cost. This is actually way better. Like, if you look at this one that's 29 inches, it's $64.99, and personally, I think the one that we put together in today's video turned out even better and more majestic than their ones here. This one was almost $90 for a 34-inch wreath, so sure, it's 4 inches bigger, but $30 versus $90, yeah, I'm gonna go with $30. So there you have it. That's the end of my big Hobby Lobby haul video. I am going to be putting together a video showing the cabin fully decorated. It looks so amazing. But if you enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you liked the video and subscribe. That really helps me out, and I will see you in an upcoming video. Happy crafting!